eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. As the vast western frontier opened to settlement, the forces of law and order rested with a few dedicated men with a belief in the ideals of liberty with justice for all, a willingness to fight for those ideals with deadly accuracy with the weapons they used. They were the top guns of the West. Today, our frontiers stretch continually outward and upward to the far shores of the oceans of the world and to the fringes of space. The free world is an oceanic coalition, bound together militarily and economically by the sea. Most of our trade, as well as our allies, are across those seas, all of our potential enemies. Therefore, the survival of our nation and the free world, now and in the future, depends upon our free use of these oceans and the air above them for lawful commerce. The hard-riding keepers of the peace in this infinite frontier are the men of the Navy's Air Forces, prepared for defense or instant retaliation in any quarter of the globe. They are the top guns of the space age. Today, the top guns of the Navy are gathered at Yuma, Arizona at the Marine Corps Auxiliary Air Station to prove their skills and their weapons in the 4th Annual Naval Air Weapons Meet. The purpose of the meet, to promote the training incentive and competitive spirit essential to combat readiness in peacetime, and to provide official recognition of individuals and teams for top honors in the employment of air weapons. Concurrently, it affords naval aviation an opportunity to evaluate its weapon systems, supporting equipment, and training techniques under conditions simulating all-out combat operations. There are 4 major areas of competition. They are light attack, heavy attack, all-weather fighters, and day fighters. For the first time in a Navy weapons meet, ground location and airborne television cameras will take you on operational missions. You will ride in partnership with these top guns of the Navy. Competing in the light attack jet event is the A-4D Skyhawk, produced by the Douglas Aircraft Company and powered by the Wright J-65 turbojet engine. This light attack aircraft is capable of low-level flight speeds in excess of 500 knots and has as a mission both nuclear and conventional weapon delivery. Recent interest in limited war capability focuses special attention on the Navy's air-to-ground potential and on this aircraft in particular. The Skyhawk is capable of carrying a variety of rockets, bombs, and missiles. The light attack prop phase features the AD-7 propeller-driven light attack aircraft produced by Douglas. This aircraft has maintained its position in the naval air attack picture because of its extreme long range and low-level attack capability, a capability not approached by any other fleet aircraft. The heavy attack contest presents the A3D Sky Warrior, a large, high-performance Douglas aircraft powered by 2 J-57 turbojet engines by Pratt & Whitney. Capable of carrying the larger nuclear weapons, its high speed and long range make it the backbone of the Navy's nuclear strategy. The A3D carries a flight crew of 3, pilot, bombardier, and navigator. The all-weather fighter event will be flown by the McDonnell Aircraft F3H Demon, powered by a J-71 turbojet engine built by Allison Division of General Motors. The primary all-weather fighter in use throughout the fleet today, the F3H is capable of supersonic flight. An ability to carry the Sparrow 3 guided missile gives the Demon a great fleet air defense potential. The F3H portion of the all-weather fighter event will be staged at the Naval Missile Center, Point Mugu, California, and the firing will be on the Pacific Missile Range. Also flying in the all-weather competition will be the Douglas F4D-1 Skyray, powered by the J-57 turbojet engine. A tactically versatile aircraft, the F4D can support either air-to-air or air-to-ground missions with guns, bombs, rockets, and missiles, including the Sidewinder. Starring in the day fighter match will be the supersonic F-8U Crusader, recently holder of the world speed record of 1,015 miles per hour, firing the deadly heat-seeking Sidewinder. The Crusader is produced by the Chance Vought Aircraft Corporation and is powered by a Pratt & Whitney J-57. The most unique feature of this high-performance carrier-based fighter is the variable incidence wing, which permits reduced landing speed, allowing it to operate from existing Navy shore stations and aircraft carriers. Impressive as this air armada is, it is only hardware without the pilot aircrew team that give it efficiency and accuracy on an around-the-clock, across-the-calendar basis. Every man in the air and ground crew knows that he is a vital factor in every mission flown by the aircraft under his care. The high morale of these Top Gun teammates reflects the tremendous pride each individual takes in the fact that he knows that his job was done right. Plane captains, ordnance men, electronics technicians, machinist mates, metalsmiths, all support personnel have a vital part in the high level of performance which has earned a consistent well done for the Air Navy. Each A-4D team competing in the light attack jet event is flying a total of 6 missions: medium angle loft, long range profile mission, high dive, over-the-shoulder loft, rockets, and conventional bombs. In the loft operation, each contestant delivers a nuclear shake. In these events, the approach to the target is made at minimum altitude. At a predetermined point, the pull-up is initiated, and the pilot flies a specified profile. Following delivery, the pilot retires in the direction from which he came, diving back to the deck to gain extra speed. This method of delivery allows the pilot to clear the target area before his weapon detonates. Special weapons training shapes are delivered in the high dive. The maneuver is performed by a steep dive entered from a high altitude, release of weapon, and recovery in excess of 10,000 feet above the target altitude. The profile mission simulates a typical operational assignment. The low-level penetration leg is 100 miles long and is flown at a maximum of 1,000 feet above the surrounding terrain. The pilot is scored on his navigation and his hit. For the conventional deliveries, the Mark 76 25-pound practice bomb is used to simulate heavier ordnance. 2.75 FFAR rockets are used during the rocketry events. Scoring is measured at the target area by target operators and observed by the senior judge of the light attack event. In the AD light attack prop phase, the profile event is a long-range, low-level, time-consuming mission of 650 miles. With minor changes, the light attack prop conventional weapons missions correspond to the light attack jet events. However, generally more accurate deliveries can be expected due to lower speeds at the release point. Each A3D Sky Warrior heavy attack team will fly a total of 3 missions. First, pinpoint bombing, then navigation and radar bombing site runs, finally, bomber streams. Pinpoint bombing is aptly named. In it, a shape is dropped from high altitude on a ground target. Scoring depends on elapsed time and the distance of the shape from the target. The navigation and radar bombing site run is test the navigators. Approximately 1,000 miles from takeoff, the navigator notifies a ground radar site standing by. The aircraft then proceeds to a designated radar bombing site and simulates a nuclear drop which is scored electronically. In the bomber stream operation designed to simulate a large-scale attack, the aircraft are launched at 15-minute intervals. Precise takeoff time is important. The targets are announced in minimum sufficient time to allow proper planning. In these events, the A3D's accurate bombing site and computer play a significant part. In the F4D squadrons competing in the all-weather fighter category, competition consists of lead collision rocketry at 30,000 feet and at 50,000 feet. The Aero 36 target is towed at a speed of Mach 0.8 for the 30,000-foot events and Mach 0.9 for the 50,000-foot events. The speed of the fighter making the intercept is suggested, but may be varied by the team ground control intercept controller to his best advantage. Through the use of airborne intercept radar, the firing pilot must detect and lock on the target and complete his firing run while flying his airplane without visual reference to the ground. Scoring is accomplished through photo assessing. 4 types of targets are in use for Top Gun competition. The air-to-ground target area is located in the desert range near Yuma. Scoring is visual, being measured at the targets by target operators and observed by the senior judge of the event. Air-to-air gunnery is evaluated with conventional banner tow targets. The banner, towed by an aircraft of Utility Squadron 7, is hooked on at the head of the runway. 1,500 feet of cable is laid out as the towing aircraft makes a high-angle takeoff. After the firing runs, the banner is released over a retrieval area for hit assessment. The Del Mar Aero 36 towed target, which is used to evaluate missile fire, has radar reflective and photographic scoring capabilities. The Del Mar radar targets are released, towed, and recovered by underwing mounted launchers. The tow reel, which controls deployment and recovery, is actuated by an internally contained wind-driven turbine. Operation Top Gun marks the first Navy use of the Ryan KD-A-4 Firebee in a major weapons meet action. The remotely controlled, free-flying, high-performance jet targets challenge F-8U Crusader Day Fighter Squadrons and F3H Demon all-weather fighter squadrons. P-2V Neptune and JD-1, operating from Brown Field near San Diego and Point Magoo, will launch their Firebees southeast of San Nicolas Island, and remote ground control at Magoo will take over target operations. A vital link in aerial interception is the ground control interceptor, who vectors the aircraft to its target until lock-on can be effected by the interceptor. Then the airborne weapon system takes over the attack. The attacking pilot is vectored in when the target enters the hot leg of its on-station operation. The pilot is allowed 5 minutes after the target enters the firing area to get his missile away. Camera recording, telemetry, and the airborne referee will score the event. A full hit score is awarded if the missile hits the Firebee, regardless of the conditions under which it was fired. The Crusaders, armed with deadly heat-seeking sidewinders, and Demon, carrying Sparrow 3 missiles, meet the attack of the enemy Firebee on the inner and outer ranges of the Pacific Missile Range, approximately 50 miles off the Point Magoo Naval Missile Center. The exacting 30-minute interval of launches requires 2 simultaneous ground control operations. As the first bird is launched and begins its climb to mission altitude, the alternate ground control operator begins pre-launch checkout of the second scheduled Firebee. As the primary KDA enters the range on the first hot leg of its racetrack pattern, Firebee number 2 is launched and begins its climb to altitude. Crusaders vector in on the duty target and launch their sidewinders. Sparrow 3s slash across the range as Demons close for the kill. The next few impartial minutes are final judgment of pilots, planes, and weapons, as hit or miss is recorded as the Fire Bee disappears in a roaring tangle of metal or streaks for the recovery area. Mission completed, the interceptors break for home as target number 2 enters the range and the pattern of mock invasion continues. The primary target is guided to the recovery area. Parachute deployment is commanded. The Fire Bee floats gently to the surface of the sea. An HUS-1 helicopter converges on the impact area. A fishpole boom, tipped with a pelican hook, permits ready hook-on to the KDA riser. In a few minutes, the target is on its way to the saltwater decontamination area at Point Magoo. Immediate freshwater washdown and cleansing of individual components lengthens the life of the Fire Bee immeasurably, permitting many missions before expenditure. During the next few days, the shattering scream of jet engines is punctuated by the staccato chatter of 20mm cannon, the crash of Mark 76 bombs, and 2.75 rockets. Sidewinders and Sparrow 3s flash across the sea range. The desert shakes under the impact of the full arsenal of air-to-ground weapons. The Navy's top gunners are riding the range high, wide, and handsome, and the scoreboard at Yuma spells out the story of their success. Finally, the smoke clears, and it's all over but the shouting. Vice Admiral Clarence E. Ekstrom, commander of the Pacific Fleet Naval Air Force, the host for Operation Top Gun, proudly sums up the record-breaking total scores and introduces Vice Admiral Robert B. Peary, Deputy Chief of Naval Operations for Air. Admiral Peary's evaluation of the top level of efficiency, high morale, and healthy competitive spirit demonstrated at the weapons meet causes him to express the hope that it will be possible to stage bigger and better gunnery meets in future years. In accepting the Lieutenant Commander Butch O'Hare Perpetual Trophy from T. Claude Ryan, President of the Ryan Aeronautical Company, Admiral Peary voices high praise of the Ryan Fire Bee, the most efficient jet target in use by the Navy today, as demonstrated by its unheard-of reliability of 96% during the 4 days of Top Gun competition. The Top Gun saga has taken its place in the annals of great frontier stories, but the keepers of the peace maintain their vigilance and their accuracy through continuous training in their skills. The outstanding success of the Fire Bee as an efficient economical target for air-to-air weapons evaluation and training has aroused the interest of the Navy in this advanced transonic Fire Bee as target support for operational training exercises in surface ships firing surface-to-air intercept missiles. The vital new role of missile ships is to establish a defensive anti-aircraft missile umbrella over task groups, freeing the total combat potential of the main force for offensive action. This new Fire Bee is a faster, more versatile, and competent jet target, capable of continually challenging and evaluating the complex functions of our arsenal of offensive and defensive weapon systems. Defensively and offensively, unceasing practice under the most realistic combat conditions possible guarantees on a practical basis that all of our armament can and will fulfill its assignment against an enemy, and that our free nation shall continue to exist in a free world.